Thank you all for tuning in and all. We are going to wait for a few more minutes to give other folks to join the session, and we'll be starting the session shortly. So hang tight. So I think we can start now. We'll let other folks join in the meantime while we are doing the session. Um, so yeah, hello everyone. I am Anshuman from the Gen AI Exchange Hackathon team, and I welcome you all in this workshop on generative AI. This is the first online workshop which we are hosting for the Gen AI Exchange Hackathon by Google, which is India's biggest AI hackathon. There are multiple challenges available for you to choose from to submit your project into the hackathon. And the domain includes manufacturing, financial services and fintech, urban planning, and many more. So we have already started the registrations for the hackathon from 12th of August. And if you have not signed up for the hackathon, we would highly recommend you to open up your phones, scan this QR code, or go to the link which is there in the description of this YouTube stream. And we'll also be sharing the link to our website in the chat for you to explore the website and sign up for the hackathon. So I think we should get started. We're excited to introduce today's speaker, Harsh Dattani, who is the program manager with the Google's developer relations team. In this session today, Harsh will be guiding you through the latest advancements in the generative AI and will provide you the insights into the best ways to use Google's cutting edge Gemini technology. For today's session, we are conducting the session with Google AI Studio, but participants can also choose to build their projects on Vertex AI. If you folks want to have another session on this and all, you can let us know in the chats and we'll look into it. So I think without further ado, I'll hand over the screen to you, Harsh, and you can get started.
Thank you. Thank you, Anshuman. I welcome all the participants here for the workshop. So today we are going to learn very important things, two important concepts which you'll use it in your hackathon. So I'll quickly introduce myself. I'm Harsh. I'm part of developer relations team. I work as a program manager over here. And today I'm going to guide you in two important areas which are helpful. Anshuman, am I audible? Just can you just show thumbs up? All good?
All good.
Yes. Okay.
You're good.
Perfect. Perfect. So today we are going to cover two important areas, two important topics. One is the introduction to Gemini API, and second is the AI Studio. How you can use AI Studio to write prompts, check your prompts, build a prototype application or a production version of your app, and how you can sign up for the Gemini API. So, as I believe most of you are aware about Gemini, Gemini is Google's LLM model available in different variants. So, in order to use Gemini, we need an API key. We need an API. So, see, I'll talk about what is a API. As a developer, we all know that at some place or other, if we want to access a other system, or if we want to extend capabilities of an existing system, integrate in our product or in our solution, we need to use a API key, API. So if you want to use Gemini's capability in your existing AI apps, or if you want to build an AI app, or not necessarily a AI app, if let's say if you are building a travel application in this hackathon, and in which you want to use Gemini's capability to build a chatbot, right? So in that case, you'll need a API key. You'll need a Gemini API so that users can interact with the model. And how you can do is what we will going to learn. So first step is to sign up for the API key. So if you have joined from your laptop, you can scan this QR code and sign up using your phone. You can sign up for the Gemini API key. If you have joined from your phone or any of the devices, the team has posted chat messages. You can click on that link, and link will take you to a AI Studio page where you can sign up for Gemini API key. So let's wait for 1 minute. Then I'll show you how to sign up for API key. But let's wait for a minute for our participants to scan the QR code, for participants to click the link and visit the API key page. So just let's wait for a minute. Yes, I see people posting comments about API. Two systems talk to each other. Good. It's kind of a connector plug. Good comments. I see. Will we be building any project today? We will teach you how to build a project today. So today, not necessary that your project will be ready, but we'll give you all the steps which can help you get started with the Gemini API key and build a project. Yes, I feel participants are ready. So now let's do one thing. I'll show you how to sign up for the API key. Let me know if my screen is visible. 1 second, something happened. Yes, give me a minute. Yes. So once you click on the API key button, you will come to this AI Studio page. So this AI Studio page has an option for us to generate a API key. So if you can see on your left hand side, there will be an option to click get an API key. So let's click over here, get API key. Now, once we click over here, it will ask us to select a cloud project. Right. 1 second. Some screen sharing is a issue. Give me a second. Yes. Is my screen visible now, Anshuman? Please check. There was some.
Yep, it's visible now.
Yes. Okay. So if you visit our AI Studio, once you click on the link or the QR code, you will land at this website. It says sign in to AI Studio, sign in to get your API key, right? Get started to API key. So let's sign in to our AI Studio. Once we sign in, on the left hand side, you will get an option to generate a API key. See, this depends on from which devices you have joined. If you have joined from phone, it will be on the top. You need to click get API key over here. Once you click on get API key, you will be asked to select a cloud project. If not, a default project will be selected. Let's select a default project over here, and then I can generate my API key. So this is how it will take time to generate API key, and now your keys are generated. So you can see my API key over here. Don't worry, I'll delete it immediately after this workshop. I'll ensure no one is able to use my API key to build the project. So you need to generate your own API key to build the project, right? So this is how you can generate your API key. You can copy it and use it in your projects, right? So this is how generating a API key works. So I believe all of you are able to do it. just write yes, thumbs up, something in the chat box so that we know you were able to follow the steps. Else I can show you again. Scan the QR code. You will get an option to get API key. Click over there, select a default project, and then your API key is ready. Yes, if you do along with me, it's helpful so that you learn and it's helpful as well so that you learn along the way. Okay, good. Let's wait. Few folks, yes, done, yes, done. Okay, nice, nice. Okay, so now our first step is done. We need to generate a API key. Now, once we are done with the API key, next step is to use Google AI Studio. So now in the same page, we don't need to go anywhere. So if you once you generate the API key, your screen should look like this, right? Correct. So you don't need to go anywhere. On the left hand side, can you see option create a new prompt? If you have joined using laptop, in the left hand side, you can see an option create a new prompt. Yes. So over here, so this AI Studio, this our interface is called Google AI Studio. We will use this to do our prompt engineering. We'll use this to test our prompts, check our outputs. We can also use it to tune our model. So there are various ways to tune our model. I'll cover this in detail. So today our step one is done, generating API key. Step two, we'll talk about prompt engineering, how we can write prompts and how we can tune our model so that we get more accurate prompts based on users' responses. Right. So let's do one thing. All of you, I believe you are following me. So let's do one thing. On this page, click create new prompt. You will land over here. Let's name our prompt as Gemini Chef. Right. Gemini Chef. You can write, if you want to write an optional description, it's up to you. You can write it and just save that prompt. So now over here we will give a demo prompt to Gemini and check its responses, and then we can use our API key and the prompt which we have generated to integrate in our application. So let's generate a sample prompt over here. So if you can see on below, there is an option to write a prompt. Type something. I'm writing, I'm new to India. Place, I'm new. I'm in India for first time. Please suggest some sweet dishes. Agree. So this is my prompt. So what I have done is I've given a question that I'm first time in India. Please suggest me some sweet dishes. I'll run this. On the left hand side, you can select a model. There are various model available: Gemini Pro, Gemini Flash. There's Gemini as well. So you can select a model for this workshop. Let's select Gemini 1.5 Flash. Then you can see the tokens. How many tokens are used? Uh, Also, how many tokens are available? Then this is a temperature. So temperature defines the creativity of your response. So if you want to limit creativity of your response, reduce the temperature. If you want your response to be more creative, you can increase your temperature. So for now, let's just write 0.1, so it will limit the creativity of my response. So once I'm done, I'll run this prompt. So I hope you are doing along with me so that you can also learn. Yes. So now, as you can see, here are I got few responses that which are classical Indian dishes, regional delights. Gemini gave me a nice response over here. So now let's do one thing. What if we want to restrict that in any case Gemini should recommend only 5 dishes. So over here we got a big response, a long response where we are talking about classical dishes, tips. Remember, there are multiple things were covered. But if we want to restrict our model to just recommend 5 dishes, so what we will do, we will write system instructions over here. So on the top, if you can see, there is an option to write system instructions. Agree? So let's write system instruction over here. We can write recommend pie dish. So what I mean by system instruction is we as a developer are informing Gemini that irrespective of users prompt, you recommend just 5 dishes, right? So system instructions helps us to give system instruction to Gemini as a developer. So here I'm talking about two types of prompt, two type of instructions. One which we executed, I'm new to India, suggest me some sweet dishes. It was done by user. But now as a developer, if you want to restrict your responses, or if you want to give a specific instruction to Gemini, you can use system instructions over here. So now we wrote over here recommend 5 dishes. Let's rerun the response. See, now my response is tailored. Initially there was a long response explaining various things, but now my response is tailored to 5 dish, right? So this is how so based on your use case, your application which you are developing in this hackathon, you can tailor your responses like this. So this is a part of prompt engineering. It's a very emerging field, and very exciting to learn as well. So I believe if you are using Gemini APIs, you need to use AI Studio to do prompt engineering work. You need to tailor your responses. There may be a need to fine tune a model, which we will cover in the later part as well. Right. So this is how I got the response. Now, if I want to get code of this, so first thing we learned, so I'll again repeat. First thing we learned creating Gemini API. Second, we learned about writing prompts in AI Studio. Third thing is, what if I want to integrate all these things, Gemini API prompt in my application. So over here, there is an option on the right hand side above settings. You can see get code, right? If you click on get code, you will get a boilerplate code which you can use in your application. So if you are building a Python app, you can use this boilerplate code. If you are building an Android app, this is a boilerplate code for Android app in Kotlin. Just copy it and you can use it as well. But remember to include your API key. So without API key, this will not work. So you need to add your API key. If you can see this Python code over here, you need to add your Gemini API key. So in order to submit projects, use AI Studio, use Gemini. First thing is to create API key. I think team is constantly sending messages over there as well. So you can use that, click that link and generate the key. If you have joined right now, no problem. We have links published in the description as well. You will get post workshop email as well. Just sign up for the key and then again watch this video, how to use AI Studio, how to write prompts. So this is an activity which we have done. It We have wrote a sample prompt and we got its responses as well, right? So now let's do some more prompt engineering in this. So let's tune our model. So now what we will do is we will give some additional instructions to our model. We'll give some additional input to our model, data to our model, and we will tune it. We'll fine tune it so that our tailor response are more and more tailored based on our need. So over here, as you know, we are building an application where we are asking Gemini about a sweet dish. So let's do one thing. Let's create a structured prompt. Let's fine tune our model. So on the left hand side, you'll see an option called new toned model, right? New tuned model. So just click over here, new tuned model. You'll come at this page over here. There are few options. I'll explain you one by one. So you can create a structured prompt. So when I say structured prompt, you can give sample input, sample output. You can also import a CSV file with all the sample inputs, all the sample output as well, right? So let's create a structured prompt over here. So this is a page where you can write a sample input, sample output. So user has asked about India. Let's say if a user asks about Kolkata and we want to recommend rasgulla to the user. If user asks about sweet dishes in Kolkata, and for sure we want to recommend rasgulla to the user, and also of a specific outlet, right? So let's say if we are building an application for navigating restaurants in a city, and you want to recommend a specific outlet over there, or you want to recommend a specific dish, you can tune your model and get those responses as well. So let's do here, let's fine tune it for Kolkata. For Mumbai, I'm giving two inputs. Mumbai, let's recommend Modak. So let's try with this two. More responses, more input output you get, better your model gets tuned, right? So you all of you are getting till here? Yes, right? Yes or no? Something so that I know you are following the same page. So first step we learned about writing a simple prompt. Now we are tuning our model to get more complex responses. Okay, I see few responses. Yes, yes. Okay, okay, great, great. So there are few questions. I'll cover it in between. So there are few questions around token as well, definitely. But just go through this demo first, then I'll cover those questions as well. Okay. So now over here, I gave two sample inputs. If user asks about Kolkata, recommend Rasgulla. If user asks about Mumbai, recommend Modak. So now this thing is done. What we will do is now we will write a sample prompt. I am new to Mumbai. Now see, what we have done is instead of India, now we are asking about new to Mumbai. Recommend me sweet dish to try. Okay. Now I'll run this. See, it says recommend Modak, right? It gave me response based on my preference. So I wrote Mumbai. It just recommended me that, okay, Modak is recommended. Now let's do one thing. I'll ask it to recommend me five dish. Okay, let's rerun it. Right. So now user asked Gemini to recommend five dishes. If you can see, there is Modak included in those five responses. So this is how model tuning helps you. So irrespective of the response, irrespective of the query, you can restrict your responses, you can restrict your output based on a particular input, right? So I wrote, I'm new to Mumbai, recommend me a single dish. It recommend me a modak. If I asked, recommend me five dishes. It recommend me multiple dishes, but it also included modak. Let's do one thing. Let's write over here, Kolkata. Recommend me a sweet dish. Recommend me five dishes, right? So I'm asking for a five dish. See, it included rasgulla over here. You can see the responses. Are you trying this out? Is it exciting? Something new? If you tried this for the first time, is it like when I also tried it for first time, I felt okay, yes, this is very exciting and I want to build cool application over here. Is it exciting? Let's keep this session interactive. Otherwise, I'm alone speaking, and then I would not know if you are really following it or not. I see 100 people watching now. Need at least response from 30% of the audience. Come on. How to get input and output template? Because template is over there. So there is a template input and output. Now, based on your use case, you need to write input and output. If this is a dish, a restaurant recommendation app or a sweet dish recommendation app, I'm writing my tailored input and output. So based on your need, you can write. Okay, sir, my model didn't work. Need to see your settings, what you selected. If your generated API key should work. If not, you can send an email to devfolio team. There's any issue, we can try to help. Okay. Now, where is the template? Can you please show? This is the template. So click on the left side, new tuned model, and you will get this template. Okay. So now let's try one more response. I am going to Mumbai and Kolkata. Recommend me 10 dishes to try. See, now it's giving me response for both Mumbai and Kolkata. And my Rasgulla is also covered, Modak is also covered. So this is how we can tune our model. So this is a very basic example. These things can become complex as we progress, but these are the very basic examples through which we can tune our model, right? Okay. So now once we are done with it, if you want, you can generate the code for your tune model as well. Same steps. You can show it can give you basic boilerplate code. Control the temperature as we did in the previous demo as well, right? So let's wait for a minute for people to try it out, and then meantime I'll show you a demo app built in IDX, project IDX, where which you can use to build your applications as well. And also you can use how you can use Gemini API in project IDX, how you can use this API key in project IDX and quickly build your applications. Yes, so let's wait for a minute. Yes, so you can select any from an existing project. So there is a question, sir, do we need to choose projects from the given use case, or we can select from our, you can select your own project, it's fine. Any query. So same thing, you can mention exclude. Try mentioning exclude, it should work. Now let's go to project IDX. So you can visit idx.dev. Let's go and do project IDX. Let's see how we can use IDX to quickly build a Gemini prototype and test it out. So just visit idx.dev. I'm sending this message in chat box over here, idx.dev. Just visit this website. It's an workspace by Google, which you can use it on the go. You don't There is no system dependencies. Just visit it, create an account, you can use it for your development need. Yes, so IDX just completed a year. Yes, someone is a proud user of IDX. Glad to have you over here. So now, once you are in the IDX, let me show you how the screen looks like. Yes, so once you sign up for Project IDX, this is how the screen will look like, right? You will, this is how a screen will look like. And over here, you can see few templates and from this template, let's create a basic Gemini application over here. So if you are following me, visit projectidx.dev. I've sent the link. Yes, like you can use it like your existing code editor. That's yes, right? So just visit the template over here. Once you are in the IDX page, from the left hand side, from the right hand side, search Gemini. You'll get variety of templates. You can build a web app. You can also build a backend application. You can write code for your mobile app, build a AI ML app. You can build projects for database solutions. Few miscellaneous projects are also covered. So let's do one thing over here. Let's build a Gemini API app. So over here, select from template, select search Gemini API. So again, website is idx.dev. Open it, select a template, Gemini API. You can write a project name, my first Gemini API. Let's wait for it to start the workstation. It should take a minute or two. And once it's ready, you can write your code without worrying about installing a software or without system dependencies. So once you are, yes, our project is ready. Once you start your project on IDX, this is how it will look like. It should take few minutes. Let's wait for a minute for people to. Are you following? Just write yes or no. I selected Python environment. Yes, can you please repeat the steps for IDX? Yes, I can. Just visit idx.dev. Once you visit this page, so once you visit this page, you will get a home screen like this. From here, you click on see all templates. You can search Gemini, and then over here, you can start building your Gemini API app. So let's wait for a minute. Are you able to follow it? Yes, your JavaScript is fine, no problem. So you see, this is we are doing this for learning purpose, right? So select a programming language of your choice. We are just learning how to use Gemini API. Doesn't matter. Language should not stop you. Programming language should not stop you from learning. Select a language of your choice. Right. So my screen is, if you can see my screen, yes. So if you can see my screen over here, a web app with a template, a boilerplate code is ready where I can use Gemini API. So if you are getting an error of increased in workload, or just refresh it, it should work, or wait for a minute or two. Yes, I selected JS file. So this is, I didn't select Python, I selected JS file. Sorry, so thank you for pointing it out. I selected JS file. You can select JavaScript web environment as well. You can select Python. So our key is to learn Gemini API consumption. So programming language of our choice should not stop. Yes, all set. Let's wait for 1 or 2 minutes. I want most of folks to create an account in IDX, create account in Gemini API, sign up for API key, create account in IDX, and then we can start the development journey. Let's wait for a minute. Just write yes when you are done with all the steps. Visit idx.dev, search a template, Gemini API, select language of your choice, JavaScript, Python, and then once you are ready, select yes, write yes over here. Yes, try it. You can ask real-time questions and try it. Okay. I'll wait for 30-40 seconds more. I don't want any of you to feel left out. So if you face any technical difficulties, there's a message posted over here of the Discord community. Let us know. Ping us with your query. We are there to help you. Yes, if it's get taking time, maybe just refresh it. It's working. It should work. Yes. So now, if you can see over here, there are two files in this boilerplate code. One is a HTML code. One is an index.html file, which has a set of three images. I can select any of this image, and then I can ask a question based on my selection of the image. So that's an HTML code over here. Yes, agree. So this is a HTML code over here, and then this is a JavaScript code which does all the back work, all the efforts over here. It asks us for the API key. Are you following this? Yes, there's a HTML code, and then in JavaScript file there is a API key which asks for Gemini API key. Let's do one thing. Post let's copy our API key over here and see the response. So I hope I don't need to explain you this entire code. It's a self-explanatory as well. The few places there are comments which are self-explanatory, but just showing you to build your excitement towards the projects you are building, also to show you how this works in real time. So I'll just paste my API key over here, and then I'm refreshing my project. I sent a sample query, and then I got response over here. So if my API key is not here, my query will not work. So it will not generate. It's showing me an error that API key not found. So this is the importance of the API key which we have generated. So even if you build a project without API key, you won't be able to send a prompt and get the output. Right. So let's add our API key again, and then let's rerun it. It will refresh on its own. And this is a sample app. Now it's showing me the output. Right. So I hope this was helpful. Like using IDX, using AI Studio to learn more about generating Gemini API key and how we can use AI Studio over here. So let's come back to our AI Studio page, right? And let's come back to our AI Studio page. Over here, we explored this option, create a new prompt. We also explored new tuned model. We learned how we can tune the model. And then there are a few other things as well. You can explore the existing prompt gallery. You if there are set of prompts, this is a prompt gallery. You can use your API key and you can also use the prompts from your gallery as well. Right. So this over here, you can visit the documentation page. This is the documentation page. You can learn from this documentation and build your applications. Right. Over here, there are API references. API references, if you want to learn more about the API usage, where you can use, how you can use, you can go through the documentation as well. Right. And then here you can explore through few let's say if you have created a prompt in past. I just did before the workshop, I was trying it out. So there you can also explore the library and various prompts which you have generated. What is not visible? My screen, I can see my screen. Just refresh it. Yes, someone posted added API key and able to generate output. Great. Now is my screen visible now? Just write yes or no. Okay, okay. So I hope this session was helpful. If there are any queries, please let me know. Can take few queries now. Edit the key. Most of participants were able to generate the key. You are getting an error. Please send us your error. We'll try to help you. So this was our task for today. Uh, our task was to generate API key. Our task. So we had three tasks today. First was to generate API key. Second task was First task was to generate API key. Second task was to create a you use IDX to quick start in Python, JavaScript, or you can use the REST API using curl. You can try the REST API call using curl as well. So those are our steps. Again, I'm bringing you on this screen. If you have still not signed up, or if you have joined late on this webinar workshop, you can use use the link published in the description box in the chat box as well, or and you can scan the QR code to generate the API key. What you did after passing API key in main.js? I did nothing. I refreshed the project, and on the right hand side in the preview, I can see I tried it, and I got the responses. Yes. Do we have a LLM model for image gen? Yes, you can use image gen as well, image generation. Yes, you can use it. It's there. How to take data from APIs in problem statement to maybe publish it on Discord. Therefore, your team should be able to help you if you have queries specific to problem statement. Tomorrow you'll be there in Bangalore Roadshow. Yes, I'll be there. If you are also attending, if you have any queries, let's connect in person. Any other queries? Anything? Like, send us, press that heart button, or send us yes if your task was completed, if you're able to generate the API key, use IDX to try the project. How did you like the session? Please let us know. So we completed three tasks. If you are joined right now or late, follow this video. First, we generated API key. Second, we we used AI Studio to do the prompt engineering. Third, we used the same API key in a project in IDX. So you can use the editor of your choice. I demonstrated IDX because of ease of using it, ease of showing a demo as well. So, but obviously you can develop the project in using the language of your choice or using the IDE of your choice. Yes, if you are getting error, please send it on the Discord. We'll try to help you. Yes. How can we integrate with Google Cloud? Yes, good question. So you can deploy, if you are using IDX, there is one-click solutions available to deploy the same project on Google Cloud Run Firebase functions as well. You can easily deploy it. If you are using any other IDE, just we'll share those resources in the groups as well so that you can deploy it on Google Cloud. No problem. If you're joined late, you can, this video will be there. Anshuman can confirm this video will be there listed on this channel. You can view at your own time as well. Pip not installed, so you need to work on your development environment. Just search or Stack Overflow, you'll get the answer. Yes, next sessions we'll try to cover how to deploy it on Google Cloud. Yes. Over to you, Anshuman. I hope it was helpful.
Yep, I mean, thanks for the great session, Harsh. I think there was one question which we were not able to answer in the meeting. Somebody asked, like, what do you exactly mean by tokens at the beginning of the session
Tokens related to?
when we were creating the API key?
Okay, yes, got it. So in see, if you are working with large language models, let's take an example. If you are writing a paragraph on a piece of paper, right? A paper has its own limitation, number of units, number of text words which you can write on a piece of paper, right? So in case of LLM, is LLM token is the unit of text that can be used in a large language model, which it can use and process. So basic units of input and output is token. So I'm relating it to a text or word that we write on using pen paper on a piece of paper. So our text is letters, whereas if we are working in LLMs, token is the basic unit for input and output. So if you are uploading an image, it consumes set of token. If it generates output, it consumes set of token. If it's a text, it uses set of token. So token is a basic unit over here.
Okay. So whosoever asked this question in the chat, they can let us know if it's all clear on their side as well. I think there was one more query. Somebody asked like, how do you surpass the token limit
You
when
can't
you create?
you can't surpass token limit. You'll not get output if token limit is surpassed. You'll get an error.
Okay,
So
okay,
each model, each LLM model has their own token limits. It's not possible to surpass it.
sound good. I think we can wait for a few more minutes if folks have other questions, and then we can wrap up the session at the end. So, folks, let us know if you have any question in the meantime. We can take those questions, and if you don't have any other further questions, we can call this workshop to an end.
Okay, let's wait for a minute. Video generation, no. So in AI Studio, you can't. It's for just for the text use for now. Image, how to build our own model in Vertex AI. Next session, we'll try to cover. We'll see if we can cover more such session. Otherwise, we'll send uh, resources in Discord. You can learn about more about Vertex AI, do it right using model tuning, various things. Can you show the output of IDX once, like what you got? You can sign up for IDX, you add the API key and generate the output. So it's not about what output I got, what output you got. It's like this is a demo page. You add your API key, see if it's working, and then based on your question, you'll get output. So we can't compare two outputs over here. Based on my question, you can get output. For any problem statement related queries, I think team can help you on the Discord channel or through the support email IDs published over there.
Yep. If somebody has any question on the challenges which are there for the hackathon, we'll be dropping in the link, the email to which you can reach out to us, and then we'll be able to take it right from there.
Okay, think we are all good. The four more questions. Do join Discord channel. We can help you on the Discord as well.
Okay, then. If you folks have any other questions around, we'll be just dropping the links to the Discord server here, as well as the email to which you can reach out to us, and we'll be happy to answer all the questions there. So, thanks, Harsh, for the great session. It was really nice to get started with the Gemini 101 session here. And I think that wraps up our workshop for today. A big thank you to Harsh for sharing your expertise in the today's session. And yeah, and to all the attendees as well who has joined us online, we hope that you all found this session informative and useful at the end of the day. And don't forget to utilize the tools and the resources which have been shared in this workshop with you all. Best of luck with your submissions for the Gen AI Exchange Hackathon, and we look forward to see what you all can create. Have a great day and see you all for the next session. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.